Hey, you guys, thanks for hopping on the Zoom. I just want to say September was hard. It was a hard and tough month for me. I missed goals, and I am very competitive with myself. I hate missing goals. It doesn't make me feel good. However, it was a complete reflection on myself. I hit Success Club pretty early on in the month, and I let up off the gas. I don't think I invited to a challenge group every other day, every few days. I think I would leave a week in between there of not saying anything about my challenge groups. I relied too much on social media. The algorithm of Facebook changed last month. A lot of things. I have to say, though, it is so important to catch the small wins. So I have been reading my book, my PD book, every day. I love it. It's called Resilience. I was going to say Resilient. And I still showed up even when it was hard. Did I show up 110 at my best every single day? No, unrealistic, right? I was just talking to a friend about this journey, and I was talking about Sarah, who's on here, and I said, yeah, one day she texted me, and I was explaining to her because my friend wants to get started on her journey, and I said, I need to help you. This is all about mindset. So I want to talk about my friend Sarah. My friend Sarah had a moment where she hated her workout, right? She quit when there was like 10 minutes left, and I texted her. I said, great, that's exactly how it should be. Do you remember that, Sarah? I was like, yeah, like what else do you expect? That's totally what's going to happen. I've done that, so what's the big deal? Tomorrow's going to be even better. This journey isn't about perfectionism, but it's just about trying, right? We're not trying to crush it every second of the day. Even my tracker, if you were to look at my different trackers, I've showed this to people, that sometimes I have 2 things filled out on my tracker, you guys. And then the next day, I'm like, I'm just going to be better than I was yesterday. This isn't about perfectionism. So I just want you to know that. And that's just like our workouts aren't always going to be like, you guys saw that I quit my workout to go get food once. Typical Julianne move. But like, I'm real with you. I'm not like going hard all the time. Like today I was like, Shanti, no, stop yelling at me. Like, that's not cool, man, right? And the other days I'm like, yes, that's how this business is going to be. I have had more coach cancellations this month than I have all year. That's how it goes. I remember one day, I share this a lot, I had 3 coaches quit in one day. Some of you are like, how's that even possible? I don't think it's a reflection on me, and if it is, I'm trying to get better every day. But at the same time, I'm not here to hold hands. I'm here to pave the way and show up, right? And not everybody, I'm not in a convincing business. So what I want you to do on this Zoom is I want you to, 1, own being a CEO, stop being afraid of being a business owner, and stop being afraid to put in work. Because yes, it's going to get hard. Yes, there are going to be moments where you're like, I don't want to do this. But I promise you, it is so worth it. There was a coach on our team that said this: my challenge groups are boring. I think I'm going to be a discount coach now. I think I'm not going to do this anymore. My response, it's not one of my PS coaches, but that doesn't matter. My response is, have you tried to do something different in your challenge groups? Have you become resourceful to do something different? Have you teamed up with someone else? Have you asked questions? Have you gone to YouTube? Right? I'm always trying to find a solution. In my book, I've been reading this, that there's a difference between pain and suffering. I was thinking about this whole thing with Vegas, completely heartbreaking. Like, teared up today just praying about those families. I just sat down and prayed because I said, I can't imagine. I just cannot imagine. And I was thinking, I was like, but my biggest prayer was this: I just pray that people won't choose to suffer through this, because I heard a story, and the story is this. There was a guy who said, I walked into that concert being agnostic, and I left that concert believing in God. Like the God, Jesus. And I was like, man, like, that's pretty awesome that he's turning his pain not into suffering, but into rejoicing and thankfulness. And in this business, you can choose to feel sorry for yourself. You can choose to blame. You can choose to like not want to work hard. And sometimes it's painful to work hard. Like those workouts, right? Like it's painful to like push through that. It's painful when people that you've invested so much time in completely slap you across the face, right? It is hard when you show up so hard in your business and you don't even see anything change. Like, that's hard. But I'm not choosing to suffer. I'm just choosing to show up. And I just really think that sometimes we forget that this is entirely up to us. So what I want to do is I want to show you and take you into my brain. Now, I get it. You can say, Julianne, you do this full time. Fair. But I didn't always. I built my business for a year and a half and then left my job. I didn't have a lot of time, so you can't use time. And I did a question actually in our challenge group, and I said, what's your favorite TV show? Do you know how easy that was for everyone to answer? There is time. If you have a favorite TV show, there's time. Everyone easily answered that. You do have time, and I can tell you that this is the bridge to freedom, not just financially, socially, emotionally, mindset-wise. Like, I was thinking about the hardest, in the last 3.5 years, hard situations I've been able to press through has because of my mindset. I was like, I can get through it. I had a moment of doubt on Saturday, actually. I was totally feeling sorry for myself, and Eric's like laughing, not in a rude way, but he knew this is what I needed to hear. He's like, that's not true. Like, you need to get over this. And I was like, you're right. You know? And it's like when you surround yourself, in my book, I think that was my point, is when you surround, so pain and suffering, there's a difference. Allow yourself, pain is pain, but you have to choose your pain. But it also said that the people who respect you in life are going to challenge you in life. Who are the people in your life? Do they challenge you to be better? When times are hard, do they offer you solutions? Yes, they can totally be there and give you empathy. But he said, he's like, the people in your life that challenge you and want you to be better constantly are the ones who really, really care about you. They don't make excuses for you not to work hard. And I feel like as a leader, everyone always jokes how I'm so red, and sometimes I don't have bedside manner, okay, all the time. And I'm working on it. I'm trying to be more empathetic. Like, there are some leaders that have taught me that. Liz Colborn is one of them. Like, she has taught me how to be more caring and loving. Not that I'm not, but that I actually take steps for you guys to know that I care. Because I do inside, but I don't always share that out loud. Does that make sense? So, but the people in your life should grow you and should challenge you and should believe in you. And I want to say right here, right now, the fact that all of you are on right now just completely is making me so incredibly pumped. That's telling me that you do want this. Now, it's always little tweaks that we have to make in our business. Always. I'm constantly trying to think, what do I have to revamp? What do I have to tweak? What do I have to make better? Because something's not clicking. Someone asked me, they're like, hey, like, I have to answer them, what do you think about my tracker? Like, what do you think I need to fix? And I don't think it's anything that needs to be fixed on the tracker. I think a tweak might have to happen in a conversation. And that's not something that I can necessarily help you with because it's not a script. Does that make sense? So I'm going to break down this month. I'm going to break down next month. And I want you to get a pen and a paper. I want to be engaged, focused, and ready to rock and roll. Facebook's not up. Your phone's not up. You're just like completely here because you want to be a CEO. Morgan Schaefer said this to me. She's like, I saw you and Eric are going to Spain. I told my husband that's going to be us in 3 years. And secretly, Morgan didn't tell you this. I was like, I hope it's sooner. And I really do believe, based on your belief and relentless desire to not quit and to show up and make this more about them and less about you, when you start to identify with what you're doing is actually making a difference, crazy things happen. So this month, I have 2 challenge groups. I have one starting on the 9th. Well, I'm leaving for Spain on Wednesday. And so I'm going to be gone during part of this week and part of when our challenge group starts. Okay? Then I have a challenge group starting on the 16th. So again, Julianne, you work full-time from home now. Like, this is easier. I get what you're saying. I get what you're thinking. But again, blame doesn't get you to the place you want to get to. Does that make sense? So when I was a full-time teacher, overworked, burnt out, frustrated, trying to figure out this business, I didn't have time to think about, well, you have more time. So instead, I made sacrifices. So instead, I worked smarter, not harder, right? And I'm going to show you some of those tactics and techniques that I've even learned this month, and I'm really excited to share and show you. So I have a challenge group on the 9th and on the 16th. My 9th one, it's capped out, it's done. I am now inviting to my marriage boot camp. I'm spending a couple more days inviting to that, okay? So on social media, I've been talking about my marriage. I've been talking about Eric and I've been jab, jab, right hook. And then I'll throw in, hey, I have this group coming up. 2 people today messaged me and said, hey, I saw your post about the marriage thing. That was amazing. That spoke to me. I want more information on your boot camp. I'll tell you exactly what I did with them when we get there. Sharing your story is what's going to connect you to other people. If you're having low traction on your social media, maybe you're just talking about fitness and you're not actually relating to anyone. When you share a story, a struggle, a pain point, a victory, something emotional, something that gets at your heart, tugs at your heart, right? That connects with people. So then I'm like, okay, I need to start thinking about my challenge group in November. I picked the 6th, and I'm going to do holiday prep boot camp, meaning for 14 days, I'm going to do fun holiday recipes, activities. Something you may not know about me, I grew up in a single family household. I grew up with not a lot of money. My family didn't decorate. We didn't decorate for fall. We didn't decorate for Christmas. And in fact, we never did Christmas gifts. We did when we were younger, but not when we got older. Those types of things, when I see like wreaths and like all these like pumpkins and all the stuff, that wasn't a part of my life, you guys. I don't, like, you go to Eric's house, his parents' house, and it is like decked out for every single little holiday. It's amazing. It's like life goals to me. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. It matters to me because I want our life to be like that. I know that sounds silly, but it actually means a lot to me. So in that challenge, I'm going to do stuff like do it your own projects, which is totally not my vibe. I mean, just go buy stuff because it's easier. But you get me. But like, I'm going to be like, I'm going to do this in the challenge because that matters to me. So every time I do a group, it's connected to what I need in life too. So The Charged Life, that book, The Charge by Brendon Burchard, changed my life. And I'm going to show you exactly what I did. Eric, I can hear myself. Sorry, there was like a huge echo. The marriage retreat, I was like, man, Eric and I really struggled when we moved here. We struggled with our miscarriage. We struggled with him leaving his job. His job in general was like insanely stressful, you guys. That was a hard year for us. And we communicated, we worked through it. Our church was such a lifesaver to us, our friends who we confided in, right? So the marriage retreat isn't just one like, hey, like, let's just like have this. It actually matters to me because of what we went through this last year. Does that make sense? So I create boot camps that are tailored to what I need as well, and then what I know my people need. Does that make sense? So if you don't know what your next groups are going to be, I hope this Zoom completely transforms you. Now, some coaches team up, and that's great. So don't think, crap, I'm in this group and I should be running my own. Like, I'm all about resourcefulness. And if you're like, that's just one thing I can't juggle right now, but I can handle being in a group working on, because I'm trying to balance it all. The biggest thing is your self-care. So if you're struggling with that or still working on that, like, there's some new coaches on here where I'm like, just get in the group that I'm running and just invite to that one. Once you like handle like, oh yeah, it's no problem getting my workout done, right? Like, once that starts like going that way, then yeah, like, go ahead and do your own. Does that make sense? So there are those moments, but I also want you to think about, how am I going to invite these? So I want you guys to pick a date on what your next challenge group is going to be beyond October. This matters. So mine is going to be starting on the 6th. So as soon as the marriage retreat on the 16th starts, I'm inviting to my one on the 6th. I am launching that group, the Holiday Prep Boot Camp. I'm going to talk about that for the next 3 weeks after that group, the next 2 weeks, okay? So you don't have to think about that right now, but maybe you just pick the 6th. But don't overcomplicate this. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did. So let's go to square one. I'm going to be gone in Spain. So I need to make sure that I'm getting my boot camp ready for the charge, right? I'm going to be able to have, let's go here. I'm going to be able to have Wi-Fi. So my goal when I'm in Spain is just to comment on people and post myself, my own stuff. Does that make sense? But I don't want to worry about content. How many of you are like, crap, I have to post today? And then what happens in your group, it's awesome, and then it starts dying. It's probably because you're making this more of I have to do it versus I get to do it. Does that make sense? Your challenge group should be fun, something you look forward to, not just a task to get off your to-do list. You guys, your job is to run boot camps. Your job is to work out. Your job is nutrition. Your job is to keep transforming. Your job is personal development. So if you're looking at like boot camps as like, oh, I hate this, which I was a little while ago, but I still did it, I had to change my mindset. These boot camps are the thing that gets people results. How am I making this so selfish right now, right? I have to take this more seriously. So what you can see is I have 24 scheduled posts. All of my content is done. So did I do this like spent 8 hours doing it? No, on your tracker, when it says work in challenge group, set your timer. Maybe that's the only thing you do on your tracker besides post on social media. Well, I can tell you when you get rolling and you start getting proactive with that, huge. But here's the deal. When I schedule my posts, this isn't like, oh, see you later, challenge group. You better believe I'm going to be in there commenting on everyone's posts. You better believe that I'm going to be participating myself, that I'm engaged, going live, all these things. But the nice thing is I just have to make, I'm good, right? So what did I do? I'm resourceful, you guys. Brendon Burchard has the Charged Life series. He has a podcast. So I went to go look at them because not everyone's getting the book. It's not a requirement. I was like, this is brilliant. With every day he does a new one, he has a YouTube video, he has a graphic, and he also has the entire layout of that podcast for that day. So this is what I did. Day 1, watch this. Here's the YouTube video. None of them are longer than 15 minutes. They're all quite short. And then this right here is from his website for this How to Unplug. So then I wrote that in there. And then question, this is what they're going to respond to. Which one do you struggle with the most, right? Then the check-in, these graphics are already on his website. He's getting all the credit. Like this is exactly aligning with all of his content. Does that make sense? So then I was like, oh, this is easy. Let's go this. Day 2. And then you can schedule all those posts. Watch here. It's the same format. This is what he said, these 5 steps into the 5 rules of life. These are the 5 rules of life. Question, which one do you want to work on and why? Then they watch that video. Then the check-in is, look, rule of life. Here's the graphic, right? And then I ask separate questions. Day 3. Watch this, the video. And then here's exactly from his thing. And then writing down these 4 questions that he had us do in the video. It's completely teaching them also how to do personal development. These videos are so good. I was listening to them. They're amazing. They're going to transform this group's life. But do you see how I have it all planned out? I don't have to worry about scrambling for time and making it not full of effort. Then look, I even did a week 2 schedule. I took time to do this. And you know what? It makes me a better CEO and coach as I do that. Because I'm taking this seriously. This is my job. I'm building a business and I need to get people results, right? I don't want to just get them physical results. I want to give them a mental transformation. So that's what I did with the Charged Life. Now I want to show you what I'm doing with the marriage retreat. So let's go to the marriage retreat. It's right here. So I am starting to make my content for the marriage retreat. And this is what I did. The very first thing I did is like, well, I want to make the graphics. So I went to Canva and I picked this. And then if you click this little button right here, it completely copies your next post. Do you see that? And then all I'd have to do is just type in 2. And then I would go here, click the button again. I'm going to delete that one. But say I want to go to 2. I click this button. Guess what? Completely redid that. And then I would just change it to 3. So that's all I did. Do you see how this is? How stinking easy is that? So then as soon as I made that, I clicked download. Then it goes into this file. So what I do is I put it in here, I think. So I did morning. These are my morning posts. Do you see how there's 14? So then I was like, but I want to check in. So these are my check-ins for the night is I wanted to do, so I was like thinking about the marriage retreat, taking time to think about what I want it to look like. There's going to be a short lesson. I'll show you. So there's day 2. There's a short lesson on what it is. And then there's a goal. Tell your spouse your favorite quality about them. And then share below. What do you think your spouse's best quality? So you have a goal for each day to like compliment your spouse or do something awesome for them. It's really, I'm like really, really excited about it. There's definitely a sex one too. And I hope everyone loves it on that day. And then what I'm doing is Eric's on here and he's like, heck yeah. Not like you guys are like, oh, Julianne, all right, enough. But anyway, then I did a daily check-in. And so I did 14 daily check-ins. But again, I just clicked this button and there's a daily question that I'm going to challenge everybody in the group to go ask their spouse. And then they have to come back and check in with it. So like, where do you want to live when we retire? You guys, it's so crazy. When you just are interested in your spouse and you ask them questions and you're interested in them, it reignites a complete passion for you. So it's so awesome. I'm so excited to teach the people in the marriage retreat that it's the little things in life that are going to completely reframe, rewire, and get you even more excited about your relationship. That sometimes the stress, busyness of life makes us forget to date our spouse daily. So I know that was like, you didn't need to know what the content was, but that's how it's going. So then I made those graphics. I went and posted just the morning ones first to schedule. So how do you schedule? You can figure that out. But if you go in here, you click here, add this, like whatever, you click this little guy, and I just scheduled it all out. And for the time, it's always 3:30 a.m. for Pacific Standard Time. So I scheduled all these posts first. I didn't even have a short lesson yet. I just typed in day 1 marriage retreat, short lesson, and share below. And then I also found these questions or these little things to describe your spouse, like all the stuff on Pinterest. So with each one, I put that in there. Then I went in and now I'm starting to add the lessons. So you can see I stopped on day 11. So I have to go in day 11 and I have to do a short lesson, and I'm doing the lesson on this, like what initially attracted you to your spouse. So then after that, what I do is I go to Google and I type in this and I read articles and I'm teaching myself all these things and then finding a lesson and then adding the article or whatever I'm finding. Do not overcomplicate content in a group. Sometimes what stops us and holds us back are the silliest things. Does that make sense? So that's what I did with these 2 groups. That's what I'm continuing to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to set a goal to do all the check-ins and finish the thing. I'm done with that today. I did a lot of that today. So I make a post on social media. Let's go to it. Let's see it. I love that you guys are blowing up the chat. I'll look at it in a second, and I promise that we're going to have time to speak. So, and ask questions and work time. So I made this post today. I always make a Transformation Tuesday, and it's not always on physical or whatever. Today it was about marriage, and today was about our relationship. And making this post, I had 2 people reach out to me saying they wanted it. Pretty cool, right? So what did I do when those people said, hey, I want to know more information? So in the back office, or not back office, sorry, and here I'll show you one. Oh no, hold on. So she messaged me, I'll show it, Jenny. It's one of my friend's sister who owns a boxer. And she said, I want in on this marriage boot camp. I loved your post and think our marriage could use a boot camp. And I said, oh my gosh, girl, thank you for sending me the message. P.S. Your sister is amazing, and I'm so thankful for her. I would not have Wyatt in my life if it wasn't for her. She talks about you all the time and the love for your boxers. You all inspire the heck out of me. I understand how much these pups impact lives. Goodness, Wyatt is the biggest blessing ever. I can't imagine not having him. I would love to share. Do you notice how I did that first? And I'm being so sincere. I would love to share more info with you. Could you please send me your email? And she sent me that. I was like, thanks for saying that. And then it just said this. And so this is what I sent her, you guys. Some of you know this already, but Brittany McMillan was on our call last week, and I freaking implemented it, and I'm so proud. So if I go here and go to compose, and I'm like, okay, Jenny wants to know about the marriage retreat. So I'm going to go to canned response, and I'm going to click in marriage retreat. Bam. It's right there. And guess what? You guys are like, well, I want to know exactly what you're saying. Brittany McMillan posted all that on our team page, you guys. I sent these out 2 times today, and I just changed them up. So this was Laura's, my friend Laura, who sent it out, but I'll show you the one that I sent out to my friend Jenny. Hey Jenny, so pumped you asked about this. Like, and then I know she is a CrossFitter. So I said down here, I know that you're really into fitness. This can still work for you. We actually have a ton of women who are instructors, gym goers, etc., who do this. And I wanted to put that in there. And you guys, these are the videos from just our event page. It's the what is this boot camp? Hey everyone. The marriage retreat, right? And then it's common objections people have. Hey everyone. I always say hey everyone. And then the third one is how you get started. Everyone, video. Do you see how easy that was? I think what's happening, because I'm like, why aren't people hitting Success Club, or what's hard for them? And I feel like they're forgetting to connect with people. They're so eager and excited and like, I have to do this now and seal the deal type of thing, where each conversation I approach, it's in complete confidence of what I have for them, but I'm not desperate. I'm like, dude, let's talk. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you messaged me. Can I have your email? Like, it's no big deal. Like, I'm not going to shove all this information down your throat. What I have to offer you is going to change your life. But I'm also really interested in who you are. So where do you feel like you're losing that? Are you just saying all this stuff? So in this email, and I can send all this stuff to you guys, is here's some of the details. The group begins here, and this is what's going to happen. We're going to talk about confidence, marriage, fitness, and nutrition. It's on Facebook. I'll teach you how to control your nutrition. I'm going to help you learn to install grace in your journey. This is what the marriage retreat is about. I'll keep you accountable and love on you, right? And then bam, just watch these 3 videos. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I believe that this email alone is going to be enough what they need. And now I'm just going to keep it cool, guys. Keep it cool, right? So then if someone buys a challenge pack, then I'm like, man, I really want to get them started, right? So I'm going to go here, canned response, new challengers. Bam! Congratulations and welcome. I'm so excited for you to get started. So one day, instead of working on anything else, I decided to just work on my canned responses. Do you know how easy this was? All you have to do is go copy and paste Brittany McMillan's, go to Google Docs, make it your own, add in what you need. If you have videos, add them there, and then voila, you make it a canned response, which you're like, dude, I've never seen this before. That's why these Zooms are so important to jump on. That's why Google's so awesome, right? Where it's like, I think so much we're like, but this is so simple. Do you know how much time that saved me today? I've sent out 3 emails in the last like 24 hours and didn't even have to bat an eye, because one day I sat down for 1 hour and did all these canned responses. And now anytime anyone messages me, I just say, hey, what's your email? Do you know how much time that saves? So being a CEO, man, I can tell you this, when I was working on those canned responses, nobody was asking me about challenge groups, but I saw what would happen if someone did ask me about a challenge group, how easy this would be. And then now I'm like, that saved me so much time. I freaking feel confident and like a CEO. That is what I'm talking about. Because I don't know about you guys, but on Saturday night, I was trying to hit SC10, And here I was with my friends. We were playing Catan and I was on my phone. I don't feel good about that. So if I'm out on a Saturday night and someone's like, it's the last day of the month, someone's like, hey, can I get on your group? You'll be like, sweet, here, what's your email? Boom, done, out of sight, right? You gotta work smarter, not harder. I think some of us are just like overcomplicating this journey. Did I just blow your mind? Yes, I'm gonna teach you how to do all this stuff. But my point is this. It all starts with knowing when your challenge group is. Then it goes into how are you posting about your challenge group? Are you just posting, hey, I have a challenge group? Are you posting a story? Are you posting your journey? Are you talking about how you need it? How often are you posting about your challenge groups? I can tell you last month I posted like once a week about them and that was not good. Are you posting your transformations? Are you working on your journey? Are you doing call to actions? Are you connecting with people, right? And then what are you doing in behind the scenes when people are interested? Are you completely word vomiting? Is it getting lost in translation? I think doing these canned responses is going to help you a lot. So how about we learn how to do a canned response? Are you guys cool with that? So we're going to learn how to do a canned response. Brittany kind of gave us the gist of it, but I'm actually going to teach you how to do it. And what we're going to do is you're going to do it. So you're going to make a canned response, meaning I'm going to send you guys all mine, if that makes sense. And then you can copy and paste, and I'll show you exactly what I do. Does that make sense? So how to make a canned response. Get a husband named Eric, and he'll turn it on the canned response for you. So that's what I did, because I was looking at Google and I got really frustrated with it. So I better be, I go to Labs, right, Eric? Yeah. So go into your Google. Go ahead and do this with me now. Eric totally did this for me, just so you guys know. I type in Labs. No, I don't.
No, you have to put the settings.
It's in the settings, Julianne.
See? Eric goes, okay, go to settings. Eric seriously did this for me. You don't go to labels?
No, not labels, labs.
Now I
Labs.
Oh, I didn't see that here last time. So then you go to Labs, then canned responses enable. There we go. Just click that button. So then what I want you guys to do is, did you guys get that in the chat? Say done, 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 done. Still working on it. So go to Google, type set or hit settings, then hit Labs. Let's look at this chat. Oh, hit save changes soon. Good thing we have Caitlin and Eric on the Zoom. Otherwise, this would look really bad. Okay, so then when you do that, go to Team Happy and Fit. So again, you guys, use this part of your power hour. Does that make sense? Like I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna work right now on this and it's gonna save me time for tomorrow. Does that make sense? Like I was like, okay, like this is what I'm gonna do and I'm gonna be proud of that. Like I don't need to get everything done, but I'm gonna pick one thing today. I'm just gonna work on my canned responses. Do you know how much fun that was? Like I was just like doing it. So here's a Shakeology one that I made. So I made this graphic in 2 seconds on PicMonkey. So I'm going to share this right now in Team Happy and Fit. And what I want you guys to do is go to Team Happy and Fit. I hate it when I cannot see this. Hold on a second. I need to move this. Go to Team Happy and Fit. I'm going to put Shako canned response. So then you're going to go to Team Happy and Fit, and then you're going to click on my Google Doc. So someone says, hey, can you tell me more about Shakeology? And instead of trying to be like, crap, like what do I say, right? Like, and then you're like freaking out, and then you're like going crazy in your messages. So then you're going to click on this, And then this is what you're going to do. There's probably like an easier way to do this. So this is you getting inside my head. So then I'm going to go here and I'm going to copy and paste. So I'm going to select this all. I'm sure you guys do like the Control C thing, but I'm old school. Just take my time. And then I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go to a new doc. Are you guys like going crazy with how slow this is taking me? Isn't it amazing that I work online? There's like all these secret shortcuts and I probably do the longest ones. So then I'm going to hit paste. And now I'm going to format it to me. So like you're like, Julianne, how do you add links in there? So say I wanted to, so for example, I said, message me here. So I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to click this little guy, insert link, and I'm going to go to my Facebook link. I'm going to type in here and then voila. So literally when I click on this, it goes to my Facebook, which is pretty awesome, right? But go ahead and do that. I made this really quick on PicMonkey. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Chat. Sounds good. So what I want you to do is I want you to make this canned response. Then after you go through this, so I'm going to give you guys some work time. After you go through this, I want you to copy it again. So you're going to put your own little graphic in there. You're going to see what I did. I actually added videos to mine, but make sure you check the videos. I'm pretty sure they're just Beachbody's video. Then what you're going to do, you're going to go to Compose. You are going to hit Paste. Now it looks different. So if you want to adjust it, like, okay, I want it to be not huge writing and I want it to be narrow, right? And then maybe you just have to like change a few things in there. So after you have this in there, and I'm going to say Shakeology info, I'm going to go to this little option, go to canned response, and then I'm going to type in new canned response. It's going to come up as Shakeology info. I'm going to hit OK. And then next time someone's like, hey, Morgan, can you tell me a little bit more about Shakeology? I'll be like, yeah, well, what's your email? And then she's going to tell it to me. I'm going to go canned response, Shakeology information. Everything pops up. We're good to go. I just hit send. Pretty awesome, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the rest of my canned responses. Here's the important thing. You need to read through them. You need to make sure that they're you. So Brittany had one, like she capitalized so, the S and the O. That's not what I do. That's not how I write. Does that make sense? So I went in there and I added my own things too, even with Shakeology, even to how to become a coach and all these things. I added my own vibe to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share these in Team Happy and Fit. And I want you to work for the next 15 minutes on just making canned responses. Are we cool with that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself. You might want to play some music so you're not just like, there's like a weed whacker outside right now. So you don't have to listen to the weed whacker. So maybe put on some jams. Please don't go to Facebook. So get into Julianne's mind, right? When I'm here working on this, I'm doing my canned responses. I'm not being a squirrel, because then guess what? I got done 5 canned responses yesterday in one day, and I didn't spend 8 hours doing them. I just did it because I was so focused. So I'm going to share those in Team Happy and Fit. I want you to make them and then comment below in the comments once you finish one. Send it to me through Messenger. Like send them in an email to me, because then I can check them over. Does that make sense? So once you're done with one canned response, try it out on mine. I just put my email in there, so send those to me. So for the challenge group ones, you're going to have to make it geared towards your challenge group. Does that make sense? So you might only get through one canned response. You guys are like, Julianne, let us work. We get it. Like, we're adults. Sorry. It's like a teacher thing when I'm working with like 4th graders. I'm not comparing you to 4th graders, but I like talk too much because they need like You guys are good. You guys are like independent. You're good. I'm going to stop talking. So I'm going to put those in Team Happy and Fit, and let's go ahead and start being freaking CEOs. If you have a question, unmute yourself because I'm not going to be looking at the chat. Oh, got it. I just did Julianne Condia at Gmail. So if you have to make a Gmail, like Coach Ashley S is awesome. That's a good idea, Eric.